We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Miami Dolphins. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Right back to him on first down. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hurts. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. This defense for the Dolphins, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Eagles 7, Dolphins nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Red, 38. Set, go. Hut, hut.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. You look at this Eagle defense. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
And this game for them is all about the line of scrimmage. Winning that battle, using their leverage, being the low man with power to take the offensive linemen and run them back into their own backfield and try and create some lost yardage plays.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Let's go now. Yellow, 22. Ready.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice and meetings talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 69 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
It's a gain of 6.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and
throw left side is complete on the diving effort. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Loss of 7 yards. It's 2nd down.
Easy, 63.
Hurts sets up to throw it. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Here we go, set.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, it's Achane. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 98 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Here's Hurts to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Third and 8. Throwing his Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's another Eagles.
63.
1st and goal. Philadelphia.
They'll set up to throw. Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this, partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Here we go. Hut, hut.
Looking to throw. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
3rd and 15.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's 3rd and 9. Now here's a throw out wide. Oh, this might be a double pass. Oh, he's got a man open. It's caught. Now inside the 25. And he's going to be brought down, but the double pass worked to perfection.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Nolan Smith on the coverage defensively.
Ready.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Ready. 60 red. Red. Yellow.
He'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. Taking it about the 16. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Hey, 73. Hey, Silver. Get it. 73.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Terry McLaurin with career touchdown number 75. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point. And it is 28-0.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Set. Hut. Black 40. Ready.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Let's go now. Claws red. 45. Hut.
They'll look to throw again. Now he'll tuck this and run. Oh, he tried to fit it in back over the middle, and it's intercepted. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Eagles open the lead up to 34-0. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes this 35-0 now.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Ready.
Right back to Achane on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Yellow, 22. Set, cut.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
It's blue striker. 30, rail, yellow.
Back to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
First down pass. Intercepted. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Black, 10 cycle. Claws red. Black shot. Hut.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And shedding through the tackle. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
A run straight ahead with Achane. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
It's now 3rd down and
Here we go.
4.
Set. 50. Green. Hut.
Back to throw here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Drill green. Needle blue. Smash red. Shovel 38. Ready.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Set.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
Dolphins 7.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone.
Oh, good-looking return set up here.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago.
Hey, Silver. 63.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 33 yards that time.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Great. Set.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this fourth quarter.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
Okay, Frank.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Ready.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ready.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Black shot. Set, hut. Black, 95, slice blue, zoom, black. Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 44 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Achane is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and
Claws red.
H.N. once more. And good work there defensively. He's able to keep him out of the end zone. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
63. Hey, Silver. Alpha.
Slot man moves right. Hurts. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And this one complete again to Mims. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That second down play nets a -4. 3rd and 12.
Great. Set. Hey, easy. 63. Back. Tiger Hornet. Crowd left Yeti. Delta.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Let's go now.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
142 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 16. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
First down, Eagles.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Throwing is Hurts. Now he's going to step up and run.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but